everybody. I'm Brian Posehn, comedian, writer, actor, nerd. I've been playing D&D with my friends for a long time. I decided to do a new podcast where we play Dungeons & Dragons in my very own dining room with my wife, kid, and my noisy dogs. So meet my friends,
Sarah,
Ken,
Dan,
Lee.
Now it's time for another episode of Brian Posehn's Nerd Poker, Season 2. Hey everybody, it's Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Brian Posehn's Nerd Poker, Episode 15. Once again, we're down one friend, but I've got Sarah, Ken, Dan, and...
We keep looking at the chair, and it just makes it worse.
Little tweet.
So I would also like to thank some people who are here with
Please.
us in the spiritual sense. These people are our Patreon supporters. Thank you.
The ghosts in my house?
What?
Nothing.
Oh, yeah, your house is full of ghosts. I've been meaning to tell you about that.
Oh my God, what?
Is it?
Yeah.
Now you tell me.
Is it hate?
It's super haunted, right? Your house?
One or two.
You really?
There's a dude.
There's a dude. What's the
Wait,
dude?
are we being serious
Does
right
he
now?
watch you sleep?
Oh, I want to talk to him. I totally want to find him. I'm ready to go.
Do you guys ever hear the story of Sinclair Gas, by the way? This is my favorite haunted story. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have I told you guys? Well, because so if I could just science nerd for just a millisecond, petroleum is old, like it's called fossil fuels, right?
Yeah.
But it's really just old crushed up plankton. Like it's not like dinosaurs.
Okay.
But back when Sinclair Gas was founded, they didn't know that much science. They were just like, oh, it's old. It is old stuff that turned into gas. So this guy owned Sinclair Gas. He went to a conference and he got fucking freaked out by it. He was like, you're telling me that's old mashed up dinosaurs that we're putting in our cars and like in our machines? That's horrible. So he put the dinosaur there as a reminder that we're pumping ghosts into our cars. And so I just love that so much. Like it was this, it was a marketing thing, but at the same time, like he would tell his employees, like, you know, just remember when you look at that dinosaur, it might be, you know, a cute little toy you can give kids who come to the gas station. It might be a fun little plaster dinosaur the kids can take photos with, but it's also the ghosts that we're putting in people's vehicles.
Rich people are crazy.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Dinosaur ghosts. That's Jurassic Park 12, by the way.
And on that note, I would like to thank some Patreon supporters who have nothing to do with that story. Thank you, Spirit Botch.
Well, it's not related.
That spirit, you were just talking
I know, I found it while we were talking. Thank you, Gandalf's Veiny Taint.
Oh, you know veins in your taint. Who is veiny taint? You know a veiny
Be a
taint.
doctor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mukbang D&D #1 fan.
Mukbang D&D #1 fan.
Thank you, RJ McReady.
Sure.
Thanks, RJ.
McGreedy. The Thing.
Thank you, April Valencourt.
Thanks, April.
Thank you.
Happy Valley Court.
And thank you. Oh, let's get a funny one. Thank you, Blaine Capace's swollen prostate.
Too soon.
For that.
It's never too soon for Blaine and his swollen prostate. So you guys are currently in the middle of a mage college, and you just interrogated a rogue student.
And I almost killed a goth.
You almost killed this goth half-drow.
I really wanted to.
Yeah, you guys knocked her around a little bit because she was turning people undead and generally being evil.
Just being kind of a shithead.
Yeah.
Just a general shithead.
Really not a fun hangout. Esmeralda tried to reason with her. She tried to headbutt Esmeralda because she didn't like, she felt condescended to. Just goth stuff. So you guys were refocusing your attention on the tree that is slowly growing inside the mage tower because it could knock down the whole mage tower and bring about another tether to the moon, which will then crash into the planet. So off you go. You guys are sort of slowly shedding NPCs, but Typha is still coming along with you, and she says to you guys, sun's starting to come up now. I just want to say I'm real sorry I didn't make you guys breakfast. I was going to prepare something, but
You gave
It's
that
okay. It was
lady a
awesome
nice punch.
how you punched her in the face.
Yeah.
I
really like
Better than
punching that evil wizard in the face. That
Are we
felt-
still heading out to the woods?
Yeah, you left. You're kind of like going back onto campus from the woods where the
got it.
instructors.
Okay.
And then we're going to try to get to the
You're walking over to the
Fae.
mage tower.
Oh, I thought we were going to try to get to the underworld to get to the cloak.
So, you guys then would, I guess, stop at the edge of campus and realize you've got two choices. You can either, with what you know, because right now you don't really have any College of Gostel people with you.
Yeah.
All those NPCs are kind of off doing their own business. It was suggested to you that you go straight to the tower.
Right.
Maybe help with the trees, but it also felt like you were just kind of like being told, well, go do something. We're all busy. Because some of the people with the most authority are either slaughtered at this point or rendered despondent. So the ball is more firmly in your hands. You actually have, I would say, 3 options laid out in front of you in your mission to stop the moon crashing. You could go to the tree. You could try to pluck that cloak out from deep in that cave that's halfway into another dimension, or you could go to another mage college. You've got a map. There's more.
I would like to try to discover the best way to destroy the cloak once we get it out.
Okay.
If there's anyone who has any advice on that.
And I have a question about the book also.
Sure. The book is Master Tetched is the one who had like flipped through it, and he's back in his quarters. I'm gonna say you did kind of leave it, but you can do a turn on a dime and go talk to him about it if you want to know more. I'll say the page that you have that I like gave you a printout of is all stuff you can remember.
Yeah, I just wanted to know about the Zinzerena short sword. It says there's a whole little segment about that and about.
Do you want to go back and ask Master Touch about it? I'd say it'll just take a little bit of
No,
narrative
it's fine.
fudging.
It's fine. We'll just
See, but it's that guilt that you have about going back. You could just forget it. We can retcon it. You can just say you were there and you asked him before you go. You don't have to worry about it. We can figure this out.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Guys, I'm breaking all the rules all the time.
Well, I just don't want listeners who are like, you walked away and you didn't do it. So, yeah.
So-
Before you go.
That's how you sound, you guys.
Dinosaur.
In your
All you listeners.
your tweets and your
He just
Facebook
feels
posts.
attacked.
love nerd poker.
He just feels attacked.
I want to make sure you guys know I feel like I'm being martyred constantly.
He does.
I don't. Yeah, Master Touch is like, what is it you want to know about the short sword?
It says here, the name of Zinzerena's blade is lost to all scholars, but the poison stored inside it was of a precise nature so unusual that it blah, blah, blah. And then it's saying that they lost the blade and that it was sold to a dwarven merchant and the trail ran cold. And I just was curious, what is the deal with that blade?
Well, I believe that wouldn't have made it into the book if it was not a real blade. I believe that's evidence that this blade exists somewhere.
And it was Zinzerena's?
Yes.
Yeah. And it assembles its poison as it's going into the victim or something like that.
Yeah, it basically, there's a summoning spell that was cast, and because she was a minor deity, she could be casting it while in combat and be able to concentrate. There was a lot of strange things that deities would do in combat without having to lose concentration. You know, they could pull off things at once that a mortal can't.
And how was Zinzerena killed by Lolth?
He says he kind of flips a few pages back from there, and he says it looks like some sort of dismemberment explosion. I'm not sure. It looks magical in nature. Zinzerena was known for constantly taking the mortal form just so she could murder people with her bare hands. Lolth is much more about manipulation and deception. She enjoys murder too, but I think if she found out she was being betrayed by Zinzerena, like it says here, she would be very public in this execution, and it was probably some sort of, dragging Zinzerena out, and as the book says here, annihilating her in front of many witnesses, which is why it seems pretty clear in the lore here that she's dead. And he
Where,
says,
where do we think her body is and all that, or where was Dessa trying to take the cloak? Do we know anything about?
He says, this is where I'm starting to get confused myself. I'm looking at the book and I'm listening to some of the stuff Dessa is saying, talking to Zinzerena. Master Magnus, you remember a couple episodes ago, had mentioned something about how like gods may not be able to necessarily die; they just get banished. And Tetch says, "I don't know if I share that view. I feel like there's maybe we misunderstood what Zinzerena is exactly. There's always been some debate over whether she is a true god or not, and something about this just feels off. If Dessa's talking to her and she wants to be born again, that says something to me too.
Well, when I breathed in that pollen, wasn't it like I was hearing a message from Zinzerena too?
Yes. You felt like you were being sort of given some very quick presentational ideas about Zinzerena, about her blood being in certain places.
Right. Okay. So maybe that's related.
He goes,
So now that we're back here, can we talk? Oh, she's asleep. Yeah.
she is asleep, yeah. But he's like, what, do you want me to wake her up? I can wake her up really easy.
I mean, does that matter to anybody else? Do you know what I mean? That maybe that's how she was. We did forget to ask her, like, oh, you're talking to Zinzerena, like, in what way? But
correct. You could, and he's like, by the way, it was nice of you to knock her out with the sleep spell. I can also knock her out with the sleep spell. It would not be hard to wake her back up and knock her back out if you want to have another pass.
Let's get more info from her then.
And he says, yeah, let's do that. Because it's real fucked up what she did.
yeah, when she wakes up, I want your face to be right in her face, and you just got to be like, the second she wakes up, like, one more question for you.
I'm gonna do a real quick check. No, he doesn't think of it. But he wakes her up. I was gonna see if he thought of doing something before he woke her up, and he didn't.
I got another question for you.
You okay? What do you want?
Well, how do you communicate with Zinzerena?
He said intimidatingly.
Roll an intimidation check, difficult to 10.
Rawr.
Yeah, you get that. She rolls her eyes and says, "You're just gonna make fun of me, but it's drugs."
Drugs?
Yeah, man. Do you not know what drugs are?
I just gave your uncle a Xanax, so I'm pretty sure that.
She says, "Oh, sweet. Can I have one?" I'm feeling real stressed out right now.
What kind of drugs are we talking about?
You know, kind of stuff that gives you visions.
Yeah, like some peyote,
Yeah.
maybe some mushrooms.
Tom knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do know drugs. Okay, cool.
I went to college.
You got some peyote?
No, I don't got it.
Because if you got
Where do you get it?
Yeah. That's what I was going to
Yeah,
ask.
sorry.
You got it.
Where you get it from?
my friends give me the drugs.
Okay.
It's special stuff that gets grown in a very special place.
Is it like pollen?
She goes, yeah, like pollen.
From the tree.
Guess what? I talked to Zinzerena too.
She's like, no way you talked to Zinzerena. She says, prove it.
I repeat, like, very dramatically, my blood is in the earth, or whatever.
She rolls her eyes again and says, okay, you found the tree. Whoop-de-doo.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
She says, you want to have a real experience with Zinzerena? Reach up. There's little berries on that tree. Grind one of those between your teeth. Then we'll see if you really have a conversation with Zinzerena.
Thanks for the tip. Conk.
Do you knock her out?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good night.
Do what was the check I just had you do when you tried to knock her out, Bodhi? I'm looking at my things. I think we'll call that a
Dex?
performance, right? Performance check, difficulty 10. Because it's just fun if you don't do it.
Yeah. 16.
Yeah, great. She clock.
I did just think okay, sorry.
Yeah, Master Touch goes, yeah, I could have cast a sleep spell on her. That was...
No, I definitely wanted to do that.
Yeah, and another goose egg just starts rising on her head.
You're abusing this lady.
he says, "Oh, that's pretty interesting about the tree. I would definitely, when you go back, talk to Master Gendy about that and make sure."
I'm a little
she knows."
concerned about the berries might be just plain old poison.
He says, "Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't just do
would
what the
test-
spy cultist told you for fun. I mean, she had mixed motives. I don't know if you thought about
Might
that.
want to give those a little test, Rudy.
I mean, you seem like a very robust tiefling, and maybe you want to just see if your constitution roll goes as well as your friends did." And
I mean, I'm laughing like that's so ridiculous that we would do that, but that totally is exactly what one of us is.
Are you gonna head over
might
and,
still do? Yes, let's go.
So, fast forward, you guys don't really encounter any other NPCs as you walk over. You feel like the campus is really quiet and nervous. You only see a couple of students walking around. And I would say it would occur to you guys like, oh yeah, like again, the Archmage Sermanic get completely annihilated. His blood is dripping down the walls of the second floor of the Mage Tower.
Cool.
And Master
Nice.
Magnus is now undead and nervously twitching in another
we
Master's
looked in that
quarters.
room. That's right.
And
How you doing, Magnus? How's it going?
Can't ask him now. So you head up. The charm spells that were cast on you a while ago still work. You realize
Okay.
as you head up to the floor with the tree, and the door is open. You see a twinkling tree. No sign of Master Gendy at first. What do you do?
Call for him.
Her?
Her.
Yes.
Master Gendy.
I'm in here.
Can we go in?
Yeah.
We tell her what we heard about the.
Well, first let's hear what she.
Yeah.
Before you do
going
that, everybody do a Constitution saving
This is
throw.
that pollen. Is she just in there breathing it? Did she not give us a heads up to not?
Nope.
Okay.
What am I trying to get?
I'm saying a 10.
Got it.
14.
7.
Gago starts gagging and starts spinning around in circles.
Gago.
You see Master Gendy is sort of walking around with a dazed look on her face. She said, "What?
Oh,
What's going on?"
Okay, we pull her out of here. What did he have any? Did he have any?
Did you fail yours?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's just walking around. She took no precautions and just went in
You
there.
notice her pupils are very large.
Okay, I pull her out of here.
Okay. As you guys do that, Tom,
Yeah.
all of a sudden you're underground
Whoa.
and it's very dark, and you hear breathing.
Yeah.
And you lean forward, and all of a sudden your eyes focus, and you notice you're face to face with a beholder.
That's a problem.
And it opens its mouth, and it starts to grin, and you hear a voice that you're sure is the beholder's voice inside your own head, and it says, "I know where she is."
Oh, beholder.
And you wake up.
Huh. Oh, it's over?
Uh-huh.
Huh. What do I see now?
You see these guys are dragging Master Gendy, who's not putting up any fight, out of the room back out onto the landing.
Huh.
Tom, did you have a vision?
Yeah.
You look fucked up.
Your eyes are still glazed over.
Yeah.
You smell beholder breath.
It's okay, brother. Sit down.
I'm going to need to take some of this stuff with me.
Well, yeah. Do we see berries, by the way, on the tree? Are there berries?
You do. You do see what looks like kind of like hard berries. They almost look more like acorns, but there's little lumps and beads all over them on the branches. The ceiling is not visible. It's kind of behind a bunch of twisted branches and vines, and it just looks like this thing is sort of expanding out like an old potato. There's just stuff growing out of this trunk
An old potato.
in the middle of the room. You also everybody do a perception check, and I'll tell you everything you notice about the room as you back out of it, because you didn't really spend a lot of time in here last time, but I think you'd naturally kind of be
14.
nervous now that you've seen when your buddies get. What'd you get, Brian? Do you need to know your bonus? Because I can tell you.
7.
Okay. And
No,
what'd you-
no, 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 19.
Oh, fuck. You guys notice the following. You notice that the room has a familiar scent. Esmeralda, you notice it smells a lot like this sort of undead stink that you smelled back at the College of Roke when things went haywire. You don't see anything the weird glowing color of sort of like yellowish green that made up the stalk, the big fungal spire thing that sprouted up out of the ground. You don't see that glowing bright yellow-green color anywhere in the room. But there is something weird and hushed about the room. You feel like the room is becoming this weird sort of ecosystem. The pollen is so big and thick and in the air that like it just sort of... It feels like the room is being taken over, and you do kind of like get this sense like, oh, is it going to break out of this room? Is it going to grow into the next floor? Is it going to start sprouting somewhere else? It feels very heavily infested with this growth in here. And as you guys kind of back out of the room, you notice there are like large chunks of pollen like floating out past you and into the stairwell.
I'm not convinced about why am I not supposed to burn this tree down?
Because it could be bad. It could explode and destroy
You
everything.
notice Master Gendy, like, as you sort of bring her out, like, she goes kind of, like, not limp, but she has kind of a hard time standing for a second after you drag her, and she just kind of, like, finds it easier to sit, and her eyes are all pupilled over and dilated, and just looks like she's maybe inhaled a few of these things in a row, so she's not snapping out of some sort of trance.
Right. Is there some way to test one of these big berries?
There's probably all
eating it?
sorts of ways to trust it. You also notice Gago is still in the room, flying around in
Gago.
circles.
Gago, get out of there, Gago. No, please, go, get out.
Typha,
I'll go and grab Gago.
oh yeah?
You cover your
But
mouth
I'll
or
cover
something?
my mouth and go in and just try to grab him or loop him into it. Do I have a bag? I had a bag earlier that he was in, right? Didn't I have him in something?
Yeah, you have like a pouch, but before you do that, Typha puts a hand on your shoulder and says, actually, hang on a second. She's got like one of those big Terry Gilliam and the Holy Grail backpacks just full of supplies, and she pulls out like a pot and just says, just try and scoop them up with this thing.
Okay. That's what I try to do.
Great. Are you gonna do anything else before you go in there?
No, well, what should I do?
At this point, you've noticed two different friends go in there and inhale something and have a vision.
Yeah, so, well, I said I was going to cover my mouth.
Yeah,
I'll try not
that's
to.
all you're gonna do is just cover your mouth. Oh, you're far from the microphone.
Far from the mic.
I do think Bodhi would be like,
I mean, there's nothing bad about the vision so far, though. We've seen cool stuff. Maybe we'll learn more.
Like I don't have a hood or anything, right? No.
no.
Is Gago just floating around in there?
He's like bumping into the ceiling. Like
I just go get him.
All right, you're gonna cover your mouth or anything?
Yeah, I'll cover with my cloak a little bit.
Okay, do a Constitution saving throw.
20.
Oh, yeah, you're fine. So you go in there and you just
Natural 20.
do a, let's call it a dexterity check, difficulty 10.
Oh,
Maybe roll that and then so it'll land on the actual tray.
15.
Yeah, so you manage to grab him by the wing and you just drag him out of there. His eyes are glazed over and he looks like, I mean,
Gago, what did you see?
he's just like, oh, holy shit. He's not snapping out of it either. And do you want to try anything else to get him to wake up, or either her?
Well, I want to talk
or
to
him?
I want to ask them both while they're still, like waking up out of a dream while they still remember it.
They seem like neither of them are waking up.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you guys know enough, and maybe Typha would even chime in on this, where you're like, we don't know how much Gendy took in, and Gago might not have the metabolism to ingest this properly. He's so small.
Did you guys kill Gago again?
Let's get him out and we'll give him some water and like air and smack him around.
Go outside the tower.
Oh, because you said it's starting to float out into the hallway. The
Yeah,
foam?
I mean, in general, it just...
I'm going to grab some of those
I'm going to
berries.
take him down like a level.
Okay.
Like
Twee,
just on
can
the
you
stairwell.
sing a song of rest or healing or whatever?
Yeah, I'll do that, sure.
Look, it's like
good.
Blade's back.
Pretty good.
He manages to do it without a penalty. So he doesn't need hit points, I guess. But, yeah, I would say they both snap out of it. You're taking them both outside for fresh air?
Well, if they're okay now, I don't think we need to necessarily, because we may need to do some more with this tree. But I do want to ask them what they saw.
Gago tells you that he just had a vision that he was being chased around by this large hyena-looking thing. And everything was dark and it was really fucked up and he didn't like it at all. And he just sort of rambles like, oh, and then I tried to go down this tunnel and then I tried to do this shit and then this fucker was still chasing me. And the story just kind of goes on and it just sounds like he was like in a chase in his vision. Gendy says she saw some real bizarre stuff that she's never seen before. She said she saw this place that was... both very dark and very light at once. The ground seemed lit from beneath. The sky seemed pitch black. And there were rolling countrysides of sort of strange grass. And there were voices, but she can't remember any of them. And she said she felt like she was there for a really long time. And she asks how long she was out, or how long it's been since you've seen her. Because she feels like she's been gone for days.
No, it hasn't been that long.
Hasn't been that long.
It's been
but-
less than an hour,
Yeah.
Yeah, she says she feels like this thing did something to her consciousness.
Okay, so clearly we can't just breathe safely in there, but also we tell her what we learned about the berry, or that something with the berries. So...
Yeah, and she said, I remember voices. I couldn't tell you if that's exactly what I experienced, but, if the cultists put that tree in there, then, yeah, you probably don't want to ingest anything in there unless you want to, I don't know, join their cult. If any of you guys are interested in their recruitment speeches that you've heard lately, you maybe go in there and chew on some berries, but... she's like, yeah, we need to get rid of that tree, and I'm not sure how. I tried casting a simple dispel curse on there, and didn't do anything. And I was trying to just detect what kind of magics were in there, and it didn't take long before I accidentally, inhaled something, and everything just became a blur.
I wonder if we can use our portal
I was just
gun
thinking that.
to,
Damage it.
yeah, either underneath it, or if it was growing on top, it would just like grow into a, but if there's some way to do that, to use it for that.
That's the thing. If we can do necrotic damage to it somehow.
Necrotic damage? Yeah. What you talking about, necrotic, Willis?
Something that would wither it or...
Oh, gotcha. Sure. She says, I don't know what these staffs are you're talking about, but any kind of damage due to this tree, I would just be careful, I guess. She's like, I don't know. I've never seen a plant like this before. It almost didn't seem like a plant. Almost seemed like a fungus of some kind.
Ugh.
I mean, we could just go back to Bodhi's original plan of setting it on fire.
Yeah.
I'm still circling around that.
Gendy says, may I make one suggestion? Because I don't know if I should really... She's like, I'm getting a little nervous because maybe it's because I feel like I've been gone for days, but I feel like we need to do something fast. So if you do destroy the tree, maybe try to do it without being in the same room. Okay. Something tells me there's a lot of built up power inside this tree, and were you to damage it, it might be like cracking open an egg.
All right, so let's put a portal in the wall and go outside and put another portal and shoot through it.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I like that.
Right. Wavy Davy.
Yeah.
And
So
a wall
I'll make
facing
a
the
Molotov cocktail
tree.
and just throw it through.
All right, so who's doing this?
We can do better than
You've
Molotov
got-
cocktail too. We can do fireballs and
okay.
chromatic orbs. That's what I'm gonna cast.
Sure. So I'm doing the portal.
So you do the portal,
So where are you gonna cast the first
a wall
portal?
facing the
or
fungus.
we can do it in
Give me
inside the
a
room.
wall inside there.
Okay.
I'm going to cover my face before I do that.
So you go into the room, you cover your face, and you cast a portal.
Huh?
You swing the quarterstaff like that, and you point it at the tree,
Yeah. No, at the wall.
at the wall in the room.
Yes.
So like,
So from outside,
Somebody was facing it,
we'll
so we can
shoot.
through at the tree.
got it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say if your other portals haven't closed yet, this
see.
is okay.
Yeah. That's
So you cast against the wall, and a black tear opens up in the wall that looks sort of like a portal, but then it starts to crack, and then it cracks along the floor, and it starts moving across the ceiling.
Oh, perfect.
It starts moving towards you and the doorway.
Let's go away.
Well, we should have
Get
used
the fuck outta
my
here.
we should have used my
Yes,
staff. But
probably.
okay, let's go.
Just
I tried to say
throw
that,
reality open.
but run.
Jeez, yeah. Well,
Are you heading down the stairs?
downstairs?
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you going to do about the NPCs? Are you going to help them, or are you going to just kind of
Come with us.
They
yell
know
at
how to
them?
run.
Run.
They know how to. Okay, so they run. Everybody do
Use mine.
an athletics check, difficulty of 10. He is flying, by the way, and he beats all of you outside.
I got it.
Yeah.
Just short.
So,
Oh, but I have that danger sense, which helps me with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. It helps my athletics when I'm when there's something going on and I'm running.
yeah, I'm looking that up right now. So,
Eat a Buddhist.
because this is, I feel like,
It helps in my.
right.
You
You gain an uncanny sense of when things nearby aren't as they should be, giving you an edge to dodge away when danger. You have advantage on dexterity saving throws.
Yeah. So
So I would say, how what did you roll?
you needed 10. It was at 9.
Oh, then you then
Doesn't
you
advantage
succeed.
mean you re-roll twice? Or, this is something I'm actually trying to understand about 5th or whatever the edition this is.
Oh, you're right. I completely
It's a
forgot. That is,
thing,
you do
right?
roll twice and take the better
would've-
roll.
that would've
You got
been
30. So yeah, you're right. Thank you for.
No, and I'm only saying that because there was something on mine too that was like advantage. What is that? But that's
Well,
what it
yeah,
is.
and that's exactly what advantage is. You roll twice and take the better of the
Okay.
two rolls. And I simply saw the word advantage and forgot that was a whole rule set. And then when you said that, it reminded me just how many people tweeted at me like today that I don't know the rules of
I'm
Dungeons and Dragons.
sorry.
So
See?
no,
I
but
didn't- I
like
wasn't trying
you
to do that
saved
at
me.
all.
You saved me from weird randomness on the internet. So I would say, Bodhi, because you got that roll, what that will do is get you the fuck out of there with everybody else.
Okay.
A black crack with dust kind of puffing out of it, but looking as if it is a long, jagged portal in the ground, follows you as you run down the stairs. And just as you guys get out the main door of the tower, you watch as it sort of dances across the ground back towards the instructor's building,
Oh, it's connecting with the other portals.
Probably.
perhaps forming a large portal. You realize it gets. I mean, do you do anything before I continue? What happens
Can you
next?
do another one to try to close it? It's going to kill everybody, right?
Jesus, Ken. All because you're dicking around.
Just for the record, you guys tried so hard to make him do this.
Essentially.
No, but
So he's done
I
it
did
6
come in
times.
and
I was
say,
done at
hey, wait,
4.
isn't it going to connect to the other portal? That's why I thought we could
That's
do a
good.
reset with my portals.
It is now getting. It is reached the woods.
So should you do another
What
one?
do you do?
Because maybe that'll end it.
Do I want to aim one at the crack?
The crack seems to be opening. It's about 5 feet across, and you just see blackness inside of it. And there's dust and
shoot
pebbles
it at the tree area?
that
I
sort
don't
of
know.
are popping out as the ground opens up.
You never want to overuse a magic item. Well, fuck.
Master Gendy says, "Oh shit."
Do you know what to do?
No.
Okay.
What did you do? What is that staff?
I use the staff. So it's a portal staff.
That's a portal of some kind, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't hurt to do it again, right? We might all die here in this anyway.
Holy crap.
Maybe
Why
it'll
don't you try
just,
your stick?
because I think mine will just restart the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 situation.
You hear rumbling from the mage tower.
That's good if it
That is good, yeah.
restarts it.
But
I'll shoot a portal at the ground. next
Where
to
at the
crack.
ground?
far away. Wait,
Next
but
to the
far
crack?
far away from us, right?
How far away can I shoot it? What is the range?
Pretty
of it?
far, because I did it with those guys.
All right.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Keep
I did
going.
it like
Everybody, and do a. Brian just wants to know what's going to happen next. Everybody do a dexterity saving throw. Difficulty 10.
Yep.
Yep.
None of you fall down as the ground slams back together, like a wound being stapled back together, and the ground shakes, and you see a couple of students in the distance fall on their asses.
Oh, good. Maybe somebody closed it for us.
It seems that the sixth swing of this staff
Oh, he did do
Close
it.
it. Yeah.
did not open a new portal, but closed all of the
That was
opening
my hope.
areas.
See? That's what
Way
I
to
thought
go.
I meant.
I've never listened to you again.
You also hear groaning rock coming from the mage tower.
Yeah, it's probably
And
gonna
you
fall
look,
over.
and there appears to have been massive structural damage done to this thing. And it doesn't look stable.
Good.
And if I think you may have already seen this drawing, but just as I think it kind of puts it into perspective, it's a very tall tower. Like
Yeah.
it's
And it's collapsing.
it's groaning and creaking.
Okay, so we're yelling, everybody get clear of the tower.
And just for funsies, everybody do one more dexterity saving.
Yep.
Great.
Ampersand.
20.
Twee says, "I'm still flying."
You guys have both rolled 20s.
Oh my god! So you guys
Now
do
we roll
a very
20s.
cinematic sprint away.
Of course we do.
As the mage tower
Action
collapses.
stars.
Like Bad Boys 2. Yeah.
And you notice after it collapses, you don't see anything particularly magic happening. But
I guess that's good.
you do kind of feel like there's a lot of, like, you remember from the previous evening when you went to bed, you heard about, like, there was going to be some magical security spells popping and clicking and making strange echoing noises while you were trying to sleep and not to be disturbed by it. You feel like maybe some of that goes off in the air as some of the magical protections surrounding the tower deactivate as the tower is no more.
Huh.
Master
goodbye, tower.
Gendy comes to a stop.
Does it disappear
And
or does it all just fall over?
She explains to you, like, yes, those are magical spells that are being deactivated now that the tower is. It's a pile of rubble. You see furniture sticking out of
Good.
it.
Good.
No tree?
No tree. The tree was in the bottom. Was in the bottom third of the tower, so you're not sure where
I think
exactly.
we did
it
a
would
pretty
be.
good job of stopping that.
That was very
At
random.
the very least, you know from just intuition, you created a large rift in seemingly space and time
that's like
next
that's a
to
major
the tree.
tear. Yeah.
Next to the tree. You're not sure exactly.
Yeah.
How
Well,
that
we should
affected
probably
the
go
tree.
check the rubble for the tree, right?
Yeah, okay.
All right, time to go dig through some rubble. So Master Gendy tries to get some students to come over, and you guys do some basic excavation.
I hope
and,
nobody died in there.
Huh?
I hope nobody died in there, or not too many people.
Well, and as you guys walk over there, Gendy's like, yeah, I mean, on the bright side, I don't, none that I knew. I mean, it was clear of students as far as we could tell.
That's good.
And it only takes a few minutes for digging before one of the students says, "Someone come over here and look." And he points, and there is this weird, just sort of, it almost just looks like a tree's corpse. But it doesn't look that different from the weird-ass corpsey fungal tree you saw inside. But now, at the light of day, is kind of beginning to peek over the trees, and it's hitting what looks like part of the tree.
So
I rolled a 20 for just the students finding something, so they find part of the tree basically.
Does it seem dead?
They're like, we don't know, and you notice there's no pollen,
Yeah.
so that seems good.
I cut a piece of I carve off a piece of the tree.
Eat it.
Okay, nothing crazy
Like
happens.
sap. There's
What does it
something
taste like?
like
What
was
does it
it
taste like?
No,
inside?
although fungus comes to mind again. It almost feels like you're cutting into a large mushroom. It just sort of makes this weird sticky slopping noise as you cut a piece of it off like foam.
Okay, yeah.
Set it on fire.
Sure. Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna set on fire with the spell or with
Yeah, fireball it or
flint and steel?
fireball it.
I want to know how you're setting on fire because something, interesting.
Well, if it's like a portobello, let's just put some oil in it and then light it on fire.
olive oil, and
Like,
Yeah, rub it with,
Typha probably has some
rub it with sage.
accelerants.
Yeah, but we got oil. We can throw oil on it.
yeah, Typha's got plenty of oil in her backpack.
All right,
and
so
says,
toss
"Here you
some
go,
oil on
guys."
And then Twee has fireballs,
I
right,
do
that he
too.
can send at them.
Yeah, let we do it. I've
All
done
right.
enough already.
How close are you going to be when you set this?
Not close.
It's almost like I
Yeah.
prompted that sort of
As far
response.
away as possible.
So yeah, you guys light her up.
Should I put a portal next to it and then shoot it through the portal?
Never again.
What are you going to do? Fireball then? You said.
Yeah.
So
Plain is. Twee is.
you managed to get, with the help of a dozen or so students, like pull the rubble apart enough so part of it is exposed. And when you fire the firebolt at it, it immediately lights up, and the flame is huge. It's like a gas powered lamp. You just it goes straight up, and it makes a loud howling noise and stays lit several stories straight up into the air, like a gas lamp, a giant
Crazy.
gas lamp in the middle of the rubble.
Call Red Adair. That's an older reference than
Yep.
anybody's ever made.
We all dance around like it's Burning Man.
And it's just continuing to burn.
Walk
It
away.
seems to
Just
be
walk
burning
away.
like
Just
some
walk
real
away.
great fuel. It's
I'm
just
gonna walk
burning,
away.
burning.
Just walk away. Walk away.
Okay.
We're done.
All right.
Gago, where's the
What was
Feywild?
oh, yeah. How's Gago?
Gaga says, "I feel so fucking hungover, you guys. That sucked dick.
Happens.
Not in like a fun way, like I usually do it." So you guys, you stand there and sort of admire it for a second, and Typhus says, "You guys want to get that cloak or what?"
Yeah.
Yep.
All right,
Ready.
huh?
Yeah.
The fuck we don't.
Cool. So you're gonna head back out there?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Esmeralda,
What else? You have anything else to say
let's
right now?
ignore the fact that the vape pen just committed a crime. No, what were you thinking there, Esmeralda?
Oh, I don't know. We got a little sidetracked.
Couldn't talk about hallucinogenics without somebody having some fun.
I was gonna ask about Piotr and where he was. He was so useful before.
So, Master Gendy, who's kind of with you, says, "Oh, he went back to the students' dorms, but if you want, we can."
No,
go
no.
for
I
it
just
together."
as long as I want them to have good people on hand here too, because who knows what's about to happen before we go into the depths of the
Yeah. Well, again,
Feywild.
Gendy says, other than the fact that we have this weird magical, psycho-looking freaky fire where our most precious building used to be. Things are looking brighter, I guess.
Look, things happen.
Yeah, she's like,
Gotta crack some eggs.
I'm less nervous. I guess it's kind of a relief to know all the horrible things that were just happening in that tower are gone. There was,
Well, you do still have an undead issue. Did we tell her about Magnus?
Ask your party mates about that one.
Did we talk to Magnus about? Did we tell anybody about Magnus and what's going on with?
So, I will tell you, she doesn't know about Magnus being undead.
Okay, I feel like we should give people a heads up because he's alone or he's with Tusta.
Dessa?
No, well, yes, Dessa, but also
Oh,
the other guy.
Tetched.
Tetched.
Yeah. So,
Before we just take off, I'm saying.
are you gonna you gonna tell Gendy that he's undead?
No, I was just gonna say heads up.
Oh.
Dessa has some very powerful magic that she shouldn't have. She's under Tetch's watch right now. She cast a pretty bad spell on Magnus, and they're definitely going to need some help out there. So you guys do need to be, things are not over right now.
She kind of narrows her eyes and is like, "Wait, she's casting spells? Like, what?
Yeah, you need to go talk to Tetch about it. He'll fill you in. We need to get going to the Feywild."
She's like, "All right, you want me to head back and help the other instructors? You're trying to get me back there. All right, that sounds fine. But do me a favor, and if you do find the cloak, only destroy it."
I'm gonna wear it. I mean, like, what? Yes, that's our plan.
She says, "Okay, good. I'm worried because there are a lot of really powerful magical artifacts just in the Mage Tower, and we're gonna have to be very careful digging them out."
Oh, right. Hey, did you know about the cloak?
No.
Do I believe her? Do I believe her?
Roll an insight check, difficulty 10.
No.
You believe her?
I think she's telling the truth, but somebody.
No, you would gain additional
Yeah.
insight. That's all you would have gained if you'd made the.
Okay.
But she says, "No, I didn't know anything about the cloak until you told me." Did you see any other magical artifacts in the tower? Did Dessa get her hands on anything? I know
Yes.
that was a concern of ours. Oh,
We've taken it out of our hands. Don't worry about it.
you have it? What is it?
It's safe.
Which one?
Sure.
The magic bone.
She
That's
says,
what I'm calling it. What's it called?
"I can help you, but if you tell her that, she's going to say I have no idea what you're talking about."
The ivory of the beholder.
The ivory beholder. Oh, she says, "Please let me have that back."
I think we might need it in our quest.
She says that is too powerful. It needs to have a vigil put over it.
What are you going to do with it?
Huh?
Yeah, you're going to put a vigil over
We're
it.
gonna.
Were you going to put a
Well,
vigil
what-
over
She
it?
says she says I hope that one day we have somewhere not only as secure but more secure than the Mage Tower, and that we can protect against people using it.
Why? What is so powerful about it?
It casts curses that are so unholy that they could ruin a person's life in a way that's far worse than death. So, can I please
Okay.
be its guardian, as it is technically the responsibility of the College of Gospel?
Well, I don't really want to get into that, but if it was your responsibility, it's kind of awkward that this,
Can I roll to
Teenage-
She
see?
takes a very deep breath and says, "You'll forgive me that I was not in charge of
it's
the
not
College
you.
of
Not
Gospel.
obviously. I
This was
no
not
offense
under-
towards you, but
and you also forgive me. Did you tell her that Magnus is undead?"
no. We just said that a very
Okay.
powerful spell had been
She
placed
says, Magnus and Tetched and I will have to discuss who's going to take over the overseeing of this entire college, if we need to contact other wizards, from other areas to help us rebuild. But I don't know you well enough to, in good conscience, let you walk away with the ivory of the beholder. That wand is thousands of years old, and I don't know if you should have it.
I am afraid we might need it. What we're trying to do right now is save our entire planet from destruction. But I'll tell you what, after we get back from the Feywild, I will stop by, and if we no longer need it or it didn't come up, I'm happy to. I'm a scholar myself, and I'm not interested in just keeping things for personal gain. But I'm afraid that we might need this.
Well, you've definitely earned some experience points, but you should roll for a persuasion check regardless. You're going to need a 10 if she's going to let you.
Yes, 19.
Okay, so instead of calling Piotr over, she says, I'm going to make sure someone heads out to help you very soon. And she turns her back on you and walks off to the instructor's cabin.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So she seems very wary of you guys being in possession of this thing, but she does
Kind
not.
of bitchy about it, or is that just me?
We're having a bit of a. Nothing. Go ahead.
No, I want to know what you were going to have.
No. I just was saying, like, yes, she was, but I mean, I don't think I was super nice about it either.
It's okay.
So,
I mean, like, imagine,
Really safe.
any teacher after the school burns down
passive
just
aggressive,
being like,
yeah.
well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I think all these mages are going to have an air of pretentiousness, and there's just no two ways about it.
Well, they let their school fall apart.
when you. Well, we kind of did this to the tower, but yeah.
I tried to set
Yeah, but they
clear
let it.
the stakes
they
are
let
the
it
end of the
start.
world and stuff.
They let it start, and they let their students go goth.
Oh, yeah,
and
no.
start fucking shit
When
up.
you
Wait,
looked-
you say you shouldn't allow goth in any school?
No,
When you
it's
looked
a
at
problem.
Yeah.
when you looked at the bone wand, it was sparkling, right?
Yeah,
it was like
rainbow
it
sparkling.
wasn't cursed exactly. It was
It's enchanted or
Had the colors
something,
of
who
curse
knows?
mixed in with all,
Yeah, it's
Right.
all
everything.
sorts of fun stuff.
right. Okay. Cool.
So she backs away and says, again, just to be clear,
All right.
Send someone who knows how to destroy the.
she says, I would just like to tell you what you have there a little bit more.
I would love to hear. Thank you.
We're talking dismemberment, insanity, and death. And there's no telling, unless you know exactly what you're doing, what's going to happen when you point it at someone. So just to be aware of that.
Okay. I mean, I do want to stress again that I took this out of the hands of
And now
Dessa.
she truly gets passive aggressive.
No, does
And
she
so-
understand that Dessa had it before me? I mean, like
At
that's-
that
I'm
point, she
trying to-
goes, oh. And she gets really embarrassed and says, I see, and walks away looking real fucking humbled.
Okay, cool.
That'll do.
Okay.
That'll do. Yeah, no, because she thought you just found it
Yeah,
like when
yeah.
you were up there, and she was not. Yeah, she was not completely clear. So, yeah, that's humbling enough.
I said,
So you guys head out, and I'm gonna say, well, they find the place.
I wish Blaine was here to sing a little song.
Huh?
Oh, should Oakendoink sing us off on our adventure?
Last you saw him, he was sleeping in the
sure?
visitor's dorm.
Yes.
Maybe
Fucking wake him
you
up.
don't think the mage
roust
tower
him.
falling down woke him up?
Do you want?
Let's roust him for a song to
Yeah,
send
he
us on a
should
journey.
give us a goodbye song.
So you look over your shoulder and you do see there is a very tall, gray-skinned creature that is sort of leaning against a tree stump near the dorms where you were sleeping.
is that him?
You think
Yeah.
it's Oakendoink in the distance.
Yeah.
All right.
So you think that would be nice for
Sure.
everyone if
Wake
he's
him up. Wake him up.
could sing us
Give
one
him
song?
give him a copper.
Okay, we wake him up.
He's awake. I mean,
Okay.
like, he's like leaning against a tree. Like,
Okay,
yeah, he
we
got
go-
woken up by the tower falling.
We go
over.
tell him that
Yes.
we need
This is the
a
last time you saw him.
We need a song to send us on our
Yeah.
merry way.
He says, "Oh, hey, it's good to meet you guys.
Jesus.
What's going on? What's the big deal here? You want a song to like send you off? Are you
Sure.
asking me to cast a charm on
Yeah,
you
we
or
thought it would be
something?"
nice.
we really just want to hear one of your songs, one of your best songs that you've probably practiced in your
worked
apartment
on
house
alone.
hovel. Yeah, we just want to.
He's like, "Well, I got a couple, that it's really hard to sing when the engineer's walking around playing with mic cords and banging them against windows and shit, but what? Thanks for the 2-minute warning, asshole. I got a couple of songs that are real popular at College Gospel. We got one about let's see, we could do one. Do you want one about Tell if Brian's excited or annoyed.
I'm annoyed.
You want one
In
about
character.
you want one
Bodie's
about
annoyed. Brian's not. Brian's having a
one about love or about smoking weed?
Oh, boy.
Oh my God. Love.
He cracks his knuckles and he takes out a lute and he says,
All right.
and it's definitely like bizarre for this giant being to be singing a song in broad daylight when people are picking through rubble looking for survivors. But he seems completely unfazed.
He's professional.
He says,
There's a song called Even Necromancers Get Some. Here we go. Don't know how to cast a charm spell, the metaphoric kind. But how do I find a scroll? I'm in such a bind. They're half the population, but I think I lost my mind. Or at least my face looks like a melon rind. You know just what I mean, lawful good, but she loves a creep. How does that alignment track? How can I not weep? If I'm kinda awkward and maybe not even deep, does it mean that I'm stuck marrying this sheep? And even necromancers get some, not undead but quite alive. Even though they are abominations, their girlfriends make them pies. They're liches and they're monsters, murderous old guys. Even necromancers get some, so why can't I? Why can't I?
and then he finishes his song.
Luke solo.
So cool that he likes Mr. T experience too.
Oh my god, I don't know what you're talking about. That sounds like something from another plane of existence that I can't quite catch on to, but you know, I do feel like I am from this place called the Berkeley Coast, so maybe
You getting your PhD?
yeah. But I also feel like, you know, I do sing like humorous sort of parodies of other songs, so you know, it's just sort of might sound familiar, but that's why I'm just sort of a light entertainer. Like, oh, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but
Jesus Christ.
what?
No, nothing.
Bodie
Go
just
on.
walks away.
Okay. As you walk away, I just want you to know you have a protection against undead spell cast against you now, because you sat through that whole song.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
thank
No
you.
big deal. Yeah, no problem, buddy.
I give him some money.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a. I don't know what kind of money I have because I don't have anything with me. But
Come on.
He says, "Oh, you don't have to give me money. I'm already getting paid like 500 gold by the college for being here." I was just
500
throwing
gold?
Yeah. It said it was emergency because they probably needed to rebuild the tower. If I was classy, I'd probably give it back, but I'm not going to do that. I got to make a living.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you. I'd still like to give you just a little tip.
He
A
says,
cash tip, not an advice.
He's like, all right, that's cool. Thanks. Do you guys need a bard?
No.
Cool, because I got a lot of songs I can just play.
And I'll say at this point, Twee says, "Hey, what if you got fucked?" And he just flies back towards the forest.
You really do a pretty good Blaine. I gotta say, I'm
I-
scared to ever not be here myself and then listen to the episode.
Well, I did play a character that you created
You
for a year and a half. So.
I guess I never listened to those. Should I? You're not doing a me though, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, I think that would have been horrifying.
That's
for
what
all
I'm saying.
parties
So
involved.
that's the difference. Okay, sorry. So that was a beautiful send off. Thank you. And now to the Feywild. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
To the Feywild.
Episode 16. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to another episode of Nerd Poker. You can follow us at patreon.com/nerdpoker, and you get bonus episodes from there. And you can also send us anything at P.O. Box 16069, Encino, California 91416. Thanks for listening.